Hi, I'm Ken Krell. Speakers, authors, coaches, thought leaders come to me to discover how they can take their current position and turn it into high-powered, high-profit, transformational digital events. I can do the same for you too. You're about to watch an excerpt of one of our online events that I think you may find very powerful. After that, I'll meet you and we'll talk about it.
Yes, and using your authenticity. When I have a Christian client, we go into Christian media. Hispanic clients, we go to Hispanic media. Women, we go to women's media. You get my point, right? And I
Yeah.
want you to use, it is called Everything You've Got. I remember a coach of mine, she said, and she's African American, she goes, Jill, I work with all kinds of people. I'm diverse. I go, great. But do you want more publicity? And by
Yeah.
following my advice and using this strategy called Use Everything You've Got, do you know what happened? She got in Black Enterprise, a great business publication, drew her coaching program up by 45%, drove prospects into her business. I mean, this is what we're talking about, using the power of that trust building, that credibility, that messaging, and literally having an attraction factor, which is what publicity does. And the power of your message is what will reach and engage so many more people to connect to you, to say yes to you, and to really want to be part of whatever you're doing, your tribe, and what you're bringing forth into the world. Here's the deal. The fact that you're in the media gives you a leverage power, enables you to put it on your website, put it in your social media, enables you to be more influential with, it could be a link to a podcast that goes in your signature line and out to every client you got. And so that's really important, right? And so we want to keep drawing people into us. And most importantly, Ken, I want your name recognition to be the thing that is repeatable, replicatable, and connected to. And so what's the big deal if they think, all right, well, first of all, people would probably fall in love with him
Yeah.
because he cares so much about his wife. That's a big thing, right? They
Mm.
connect to your heart, your authentic being, your
Mm.
soul. And I want you to be connected to your message. And I want it to be resonant for you. Does it grow his financial planning business? Absolutely. Because what happens is that people keep hearing his name and they're like, all right, who am I going to trust? I'm going to trust a guy who cares enough about his wife
Yeah.
to figure out what to do and how to care for her.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And I think this is really the key, is finding new ways to take your message forth, right? I have a woman, she wrote a self-published book on relationships. And what we have her doing now is doing major media talking about how to deal with relationships in pandemic. All of a sudden you're quarantined with people maybe, you see half the month versus 24 hours a day, you know what I'm saying, right? And so what we want to do is learn how to connect better, speak better, handle a conflict. And so all of a sudden she's out on all of that, even though her book's really about writing a letter to people to express yourself. But now we take her message bigger, broader, wider. This is what I really want you to think about, taking your message bigger, broader, wider. In some of your cases, you might have to go narrow.
Mm.
And I want you mostly to think right now, is there something I'm knowing that I can be talking about with regard to media, or for, really setting yourself up for success, taking action now. And you are taking action now because you're right here, right now, watching this, which I think is super cool. And you want to be setting yourself up for success as a thought leader or a leader in your industry, no matter what you do. And I'm talking, I've worked with people with products, services, nonprofits, authors, speakers, consultants, coaches, all kinds of people. And here's what else is interesting. I want you to hear. For those of you who are considering or want to write a book, maybe something's driving you, you want to write a book. And let me share with you that I've been helping people get book deals without a word written for over 18 years.
Without
And
a
here,
word written.
without a word written. In fact, they write the book when they have the contract and the advance. I love
Oh,
that.
Jill, we're going to talk, honey.
Yeah.
We are totally going to talk.
Well, let me share with you that one of the things, and by the way, I've got a huge book coming out by Susie Carter. She was actually the operations manager for Lisa Nichols. And beautiful book called Power Up Your Profits is coming right out on Simon & Schuster. And I was the one who facilitated that whole connection. So I'm so excited for her. And let me share with you that because I have the opportunity and wonderful blessing of pitching to major publishers and agents every single year, here's what I found out. One of the major publishers said to me, Jill, there's a few things I want to say. He said, what the authors want to write may or may not be what we want to publish. So, one thing that works really well for those of you who are desiring books is how to. How to is really good. We don't want your memoir, no offense, unless you're famous, but we could put your memoir and story, like the woman I sold an opioid addiction book by a woman who overcame this to a recovery press because she had a great story about how to. When I go to international book fairs and I help self-published authors get foreign rights, and I'm so thrilled to tell you that I got to just brag for a moment that The Prophet of Kindness is now out in Russia and in India. Yahoo! And Guerrilla Publicity is out, thank you, in simple Chinese and in Serbian. Isn't that cool? Well, and I think I quoted you several statistics because, yes, I want you to have high ROI using your publicity. I think that's really, really powerful, right? And so, for instance, there was a woman I worked with. She had a product. They're those cute little bra straps because, women, we know this, that like all of a sudden those bra straps show and they're kind of like weird. And so she decided she was going to solve this problem and make pretty bra straps so that when they did show, at least they'd be fun and sexy. Great idea. $25 product, right? One blog following my publicity system. And I am big on replicatable systems, simple things to do, right? That get you guaranteed consistent visibility and build your visibility so that people keep talking about you. And one blog post got her, check this out, you want to talk ROI, 600 orders. Okay, now do the math on that. And I've done it. It's $15,000. $15,000, Ken, is that good? One article. Now, let me just tell you that, the financial planner grew his business. I mean, we did measure the website visits. We measured the calls coming in. I have had client after client tell me as soon as something hits the media, all of a sudden their like phone blows up, or their web visits blow up, or their social media goes way up, and the engagement. So I just want to tell you that the issue of visibility building is so key, so connected, so important, that what I really want you to be thinking about and creating for yourself is the opportunity to get that visibility and get people talking about you. Because here's the other very powerful advantage of media. I have a consultant, and she walked into basically an interview, and there were 3 other consultants up for the job. And as soon as she walked in, because she had followed my advice in the publicity course, she actually had gotten just one line in the Minneapolis Star-Tribune, wonderful newspaper serving the great state of Minnesota in Minneapolis. And the guy said to her, I Googled you, and I want you to know that I'm going to give you this consulting position, which, by the way, was a $25,000 assignment. He said, because I saw that you were featured in the Minneapolis Star-Tribune. And now here's what I want you to hear. She didn't have a huge article, but the point is she was mentioned. He Googled her. It's the power of the repetition. It's the power of the familiarity. It's the leverage you have by putting it in every place, in your social media, in all of your platforms. It's the power you have in conducting business so that other people keep seeing your company name, your name, and that familiarity factor goes up. That's what we want for you, and that we want you to use it, to reuse it, to repurpose it, to recreate it, to use it in podcasts and in leverage so that other media starts talking about you. Because here's what you got to get. The media, what's interesting? they're quite, well, incestuous is kind of a funny word, but you know what I'm saying, right? They're a little incestuous. And what do I mean by that? I mean that when you are smart enough to be featured, what the media loves is to then feature you because, oh, well, I saw Ken on one show. He must be good. I'm going to feature him someplace else. So I think that's really an important piece that we want to connect to, and that I want you all to understand about the power of publicity. So here's what happened, my friends. You just saw a blip happen, right? It happens in media. I was on a Fox TV news thing, and the red light goes on, and all of a sudden they're not filming. They didn't get any film. We had to do the whole thing over again because what's interesting about media is you got like 4 minutes and 20 seconds on a typical major network to make your point, get in, get out, and you better make it fast, effective, and remember those two key words I told you: concise and precise.
So that's one short taste of how you can use the power of digital events to help people transform their lives and find a new way to live. Want to learn how you can put it to use in your own business? Well, stick with me for the Digital Events Essentials Plan. It's called DEEP. It'll take you through how you can plan, produce, and profit from your own online events. It's pretty great, it's pretty free, and I think you'll like it pretty much. So come join me. Click the link either in the description below or somewhere on this video itself, and we'll take you over there. It's completely free. I think you're going to love it, and it will give you the plan you need to plan, produce, and profit from your own digital events.